Actually, now that I just checked, it says it's an hour and some hour away. There's a sign over here. I don't know what that's all about, but the canal ran through here, but it didn't. The lock is not near here, so we're not going. But we are going to take you to Fort Defiance, at least the site where Fort Defiance was. This is one of the forts that Anthony Wayne stopped on that his way to the fallen timbers. Fort Defiance was erected upon this site by General Anthony Wayne August 9th through the 17th. It only took them 8 days in 1794, and thus the grand emporium of the hostile Indians of the West was gained without loss of blood. From this point, General Wayne advanced against the Indians and signally defeated them in the Battle of Fallen Timbers on August 20th. So it only took him 3 days to get from here all the way up to Fallen Timbers, which is quite a ways away. At this strategic center in October 1792, convened the largest Indian council ever held on the American continent. Fort Defiance was an important military post in the War of 1812. And this is where the site was right here on the river. And you can see the old, it's actually a flagstaff, Fort Defiance flagstaff. All land north to Canada is surveyed on baseline running from this point. And that's an old flagpole. The Legion of Anthony Wayne's army was made up of 4 sub-legions. I'm not going to read all this because it'll be too long, but you can pause this and read it if you'd like. There's a construction of Fort Defiance, the reinforcement work, and Frontier Fort. But let's go check out these cannons over here. Is what I want to see. This is the powder magazine. There was a storehouse of powder kind of right here on the fort. On this part of the fort was the last blockhouse. Look like that. I wish they'd rebuild it out here. It's a nice little walkway. You can walk along the river. The river splits right here. This is the Maumee River. Not sure what was right here. U.S. Government, Bishop Post number 22. Defiance, Ohio, 1847. Look at this cannon. Humongous. Birds have a nest in there. And there's one this way. Marker down there. And then there's one this way. And we have our Ohio history marker. Spemica Laba Johnny Logan. In September 1786, Captain Benjamin Logan of Kentucky captured a young Indian boy during a raid across the Ohio River on the Mackinac tribe towns of the Shawnee Nation. Upon returning to Kentucky, Captain Logan made the 14-year-old boy part of his family until he was forced by treaty to return him to his native people. From the period of residence in Kentucky to the time of his death, Johnny Logan, time of his death, as he was named, was a friend of the United States. Following the declaration of war against England in 1812, he joined the American service. He was employed by the Indian agent John Johnson at Piqua to help evacuate Ohio women and children living near Fort Wayne. The siege of that fort was later lifted by the combined force of Kentucky and Ohio troops under the command of William Henry Harrison. November 18th, General Harrison directed Logan to take a small party ahead of General James Winchester's left wing to scout the area near the rapids of the Maumee River. Encountering a large enemy force, Logan's party retreated and was accused of disloyalty by General Price, second in command to Winchester. Indigent Logan left with the Captain Johnny and Brighthorn to prove his innocence. They were, however, captured near Turkeyfoot Creek by British sympathizer Potawatomi chief Winnemac and Matthew Elliott, son of British Indian agent. During their escape, 4 of the enemy, including Winnemac and Elliott, were killed. Brighthorn and Logan were wounded, but Logan's wound was severe. He died on November 25th, 1812. Army officers carried Logan's body 6 miles to Fort Defiance, where he was buried with full military honors, the only Indian to receive that recognition in Ohio. Here's a picture of what the fort looked like, if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see. But there's a building here, and then 3 outposts. That was the black powder stock, and that's the other marker. And here's where the river splits, so the cannons would be faced out these ways, in these 2 things. And look, we've made it to more of the Buckeye Trail. Still blue markers, and it runs right along here. And this is just further more of the Buckeye Trail that we were on at Flat Rock Creek. We would have made it here if we'd have kept going somehow. I'm not sure exactly which way we would have went. So right here you can still see part of the wall from the fort. There'd have been a building over here, over there, over there,
right here,
and right here,
and then over there,
and then over there. Right up here was the officers' quarters. And now there's a library. So there was a trench in front of the fort, kind of keep everyone away. There's the pickets, there's the ditch, and here's kind of the ditch area right here, all the way around the fort. Okay, so here we are. Here's Fallen Timbers, where we did the last video. But look, here's Fort Wayne. Here's Anthony Wayne's march with all the forts. I'd like to go see all of them if I can, from Fort Washington all the way up. Indian Wars, 1790 to 1795. When American pioneers attempted to settle the area north and west of the Ohio River following the Northwest Ordinance from 1787, the Indians, sided by the British of Canada, fought valiantly and fiercely for their homes in the Ohio country. They set the frontier aflame, and it required the efforts of 3 American armies to break the Indian resistance to American occupation. The First Army, 1790, under General Josiah Harmer, met defeat at the Miami Towns, Fort Wayne, Indiana. The Second, under Governor Arthur St. Clair, was surprised and repulsed with severe losses on the banks of the Wabash, Fort Recovery, Ohio. Finally, on August 20th, 1794, the Legion of the United States, under the command of General Mad Anthony Wayne, achieved a decisive victory for the Battle of Fallen Timbers. This triumph of American arms resulted in the Treaty of Greenville, August 3rd, 1795, which placed the Indians under the control of the United States. The Northwest Territory, from which was to be formed the state of Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, and part of Minnesota, was firmly in the hands of the United States and opened, in part, to the American white settlement. So it says the Glaze is what they used to call the Maumee and the All Glaze rivers, but they come together here. I lived on the All Glaze River. So the All Glaze River came around this part of the fort, The Maumee River came to this part of the fort, and there was a dock out to it, and then 4 sides. They built all this in 8 days. Crazy. That's what it looked like. Keep finding the art and everything, guys. See you guys next time.
Get nuked by the cannon.
So gypsies got away with colors, painting skies so blue. Vanilla girls got a beat that'll move ya through and through. Duke's got a voice like honey, telling tales from days of old. They're searcher for the beauty in the stories that they've told. They're finding the art in everything, from the sunrise to the rain, in the dusty old barn and the sweet country train. Gypsy, Vanilla, Gorilla, and Duke, they see the world so wide, with a heart full of wonder, and their dreams as their guide. Oh, they're finding the art and everything, no matter where they go, in the small town streets and the wild open roads. Gypsy's got a canvas and she's dreaming wild and free. Vanilla gorillas strumming tunes by the old oak tree. Duke's writing songs about the nights beneath the stars. They're mixing up the magic with a little bit of scars. They're finding the art in everything, from the sunrise to the rain, in the dusty old barns and the sweet country train. Gypsy, Vanilla, Gorilla, and Duke, they see the world so wide, with a heart full of wonder, and their dreams as their guide. Oh, they're finding the art in everything, matter where they go, in the small town streets and the wild open road. Through the highs and the lows, they paint their path with a splash of hope and a good old laugh. They'll teach you how to see the beauty in the mundane, in the rustling leaves and the old window pane. They're finding the art in everything, from the sunrise to the rain, in the dusty old barn and sweet country train. Gypsy, Vanilla, Gorilla, and Duke, they see the world so wide, with a heart full of wonder, and their dreams as their guide. Oh, they're finding the art in everything, no matter where they go, in the small town streets and the wild open roads. Gypsy, Vanilla, and Duke, they're painting life so bright, finding art in every shadow and the morning light, with their hearts wide open and their spirits so free. They're showing us the beauty in things we barely see.
Like, comment, subscribe.